Couch Guys Sports Podcast, episode number 176. The boys are back together. Nick Quaglia, Jared Scali, and Al Nahigian on the show. More of a regular at this point. And we can talk about that too in a little bit. But, I mean, guys, heavy part of the show this week. And honestly, just throughout the United States still. And this is weird to say considering we've been battling this since March. But coronavirus. Ever hear of that bitch? The Rona won't cut the shit.
The cocoa.
Even went after our president of the United States this week. Went after President Donald J. Trump, which, by the way.
Fuck that guy.
It's okay. I wasn't going to say that. But
fuck that guy.
What I was going to say is
fuck that guy.
Listen, I don't necessarily disagree, okay? But what I was going to say here was absolutely, I mean, you can believe in karma if you want to, or you don't have to believe in karma. But what a thing for coronavirus to do to go after the president at just days after he was legitimately making fun of Joe Biden for wearing a mask during the debate. Just legit roasting Joe Biden for wearing a mask.
This guy wears the mask all the time, even when he doesn't need to. It's always on. I have a mask when I need to wear it.
The biggest mask you've ever seen.
Yeah. Make masks great again.
Once he got the coronavirus, I mean, it was karma just slapping him in the face over it. But yeah, I mean, coronavirus affecting our lives still. It's been months. Listen,
impacting our fantasy teams.
It's impacting our fantasy teams, which we anticipated, okay? And we're going to talk about that more once we actually get deeper into the show. But coronavirus is going after the NFL now. And I don't know if it's as bad as Twitter specifically is making it out to be. And we're going to talk about that more in the main part of the show. But I want to get this out of the way first. So I will be taking a break from the show.
He hates us.
For the next.
Unbelievable.
I do.
Rude
Reason A is because I hate Jared and Al. Reason B is because I am, and I guess I'll announce this now too, not specifics, but I am opening a business. I'm pretty sure I've talked about that on the show already. But I am opening up a new business, and that should be launching as long as everything goes right. And honestly,
it won't. It doesn't.
There are so many things. I know it's not going to go smooth at all, because that's just not how business works, especially when you're opening up a new one. But just as long as we're prepared enough, the launch date is supposed to be in the middle of next week. We're aiming for either Wednesday or Thursday. And obviously with that, I have to put all my energy into that business, especially in the first few weeks. And if it launches on Wednesday, that's the night of the show. I'm not going to do a podcast the night that I launch a new business. So me and my business partner, we'll be launching them in the middle of next week. And I will be just MIA for the next however many weeks, whatever happens with the biz in the first.
I'm becoming interim CEO. I'm giving myself the tag. Interim CEO, Couch Guys Sports.
So interim CEO Jared's going to take over as lead host. I texted Al last night. Al is going to take over as the number 2 chair. So I will be out. And I mean, does it really fucking matter? You guys are going to be able to handle it?
No,
we're probably going to get more ratings now. We're going to get more ratings.
Yeah,
I've been saving the extra sponsors for while you're gone.
People haven't been watching the show because of me.
And Jared and I are going to split the money. That's just how it works.
Yeah, you're having another business. We need the money. You don't.
Well,
So,
I mean, hey,
you probably
the
need the
business
money.
hasn't opened yet. I haven't made shit.
He might need the money just a little bit.
It's all right.
Listen,
I have a kid, so
I'm heavily invested in this business, okay? There's a lot of money that I have saved up a majority of my working life that is now gone. So hopefully I make it back. That's the plan. That's the game plan, that I make it back. If not, I don't know. I'm screwed. But I will make it back. I'm very excited for the opening of the business. And I want to talk about it more now, but I won't.
Can you give us a name? Are you allowed to give us a name? You're in charge, right? The name's not going anywhere. You can give us a name.
Spoil it for the fans. Spoil it.
I'll
good
say
marketing.
it next week. Maybe I'll jump on for a second next week and just announce what the actual business is. Because we're still waiting. We're still waiting on a couple things.
It's a cop out. That's terrible.
We'll see.
We're still waiting on a couple things.
Yeah.
So I don't want to jump the gun here because I jumped the gun once already, and I'm not. Listen, if you liked the previous Facebook page before we had to rebrand everything from back in May, then you can go there right now because of Facebook's new rules, and you can see what the new name is. So that's your call. You can do that if you want.
Well, I know the name, so I don't need to do that extra stuff.
I know you.
I'm sorry.
know
I
the
had a
name.
little something caught. I'm sorry.
So that's the plan. That's the game plan here. I'm going to be MIA for the next however many weeks. It's going to be Jared and Al. And, I mean, while we're talking about Al, I needed him to do this. 2 minutes before we jumped on, Al lost power.
Yep.
The best part about it was
Still in the
I
middle of
texted both of you saying, "Hey guys, I might be losing power in a second because
I hate you so much right now.
My
I
power
hate you
flickered
so
off.
much.
My power flickered off for like 30 seconds. It was off. I was like, crap, I just lost power. It came back on. I'm like, all right, we're good. That's why I texted you guys saying, like, it's good for now. We'll see. And then the wind stopped, and we're good now. And my power's on. And then Al's like, I lost my power. I'm like, well, that sucks.
And for anybody
I love
wondering
that
how
Al lost power.
For anybody wondering how I'm doing this, I literally have my phone with my flashlight beaming in my face. So I'm probably going to be blind tomorrow. I'm not going to be able to see the board to be able to teach my students. So that's going to be a pain in the ass. And I look like I'm like about to jump out and like scare somebody, which is just great. So I look even worse now than I do ever. So that's great.
You do. And Jared just rose. Jared, are you still here? Jared is still here. Okay, I see.
Jared's face right there was better looking than my setup right now.
I didn't know if Jared lost power, which would have been wild. So Al eventually is going to kick out on the show. For people who are watching, the audio people aren't going to know. But Al's going to kick out on the show at some point, switch over to his phone, assuming that his computer has a shitty battery, which I don't know why I'm assuming that. But
I'm at 18%, so we'll see how long this lasts.
It's
you'll be done in like
quick.
10 minutes. Lifeline out.
So anyway, those are the really big announcements of the show. But boys,
The Rona.
let's get into that weekly dump first, which does coincidentally start
Includes the
out
Rona.
with the Rona.
The cocoa? Love the cocoa. Not really though.
No, the Rona. Listen.
No,
Donald Trump.
it's part of my take. It's what part of my take's calling it. The cocoa.
The cocoa.
It sounds better.
Well, I don't listen. I love the guys. I think they're awesome. I just don't. I listen to a lot of the Joe Rogan podcast, and that podcast takes so long to listen to because it's 3 hours that I really don't have much time to listen to anything else.
No stamina besides. You put all your stamina into Joe Rogan, and just the rest is history.
It's 3 hours.
I don't know why you listen to that whole podcast.
I've been listening all day. I started this morning when I was working out because I do that. Shout out to me. I was working out this morning, threw on the Joe Rogan podcast that had Bill Burr. I love Bill Burr. And it's great start to finish. I'm like 2 hours in. I feel like I've been listening to it for a week. I looked at the time at one point. I was like, there's still an hour left of this show. So anyway, the weekly dump. Guys, we've had a few COVID positive 19 cases here in the NFL, but most notably for us on the Patriots, including practice squad member Bill Murray and quarterback Cam Newton, the reigning defensive player of the year, Stephon Gilmore, has now also tested positive for the Rona. And now there's a picture circulating with the great land of Twitter of Gilly hugging Patrick Mahomes at the end of the game on Monday night. Gilly's also announced that he's already asymptomatic, or he's already announced that he is asymptomatic, just like Cam Newton. And I don't fully understand what's going on with do you guys know the COVID rules? Because they're kind of confusing to me. So like there were things that like if Cam Newton tested negative 2 days in a row, he gets to practice tomorrow?
If
That's
you're
what I think it is.
if you're asymptomatic, showing no symptoms, which he and supposedly Gilmore are, 5 days after the test came back positive, which was Saturday apparently, then you have to test twice negative within 24 hours. So like as of tomorrow or Thursday, when this drops, starting Thursday, he has to get 2 tests within 24 hours, both negative, and then he can come back.
So here's my thing though.
Without
with
showing symptoms.
Here's my problem. Here's my problem with COVID. Okay, this is my sole problem with this pandemic.
Just
going
one.
on.
That's it.
Stephon Gilmore, he played in this game on Monday night after supposedly testing negative for it seems like 3 straight days, and now you got to wonder did he have it during the game?
Of course he did.
And that means did he infect everybody on the field.
Of course he did.
Did you guys see the tweet? I think it was Ryan Hannaby, I think the
Hannibal.
name is. Hannibal, sorry, yes.
Ryan Hannaby.
Listen, I looked at it. I looked at it like for 2 seconds. I get so many texts in that Legends Lingo text message group that I barely look at it half the time. But apparently Newton and Gilmore went out to dinner on Friday night. So maybe
before they came back positive.
Yeah, you're hoping that maybe it's just those two, but you can't. You have to. I'm saying you have to think that there's probably going to be more positive cases.
The
coming,
thing too with that
besides
is
Bill
like
Murray too.
He went to dinner with Gilmore, and then there were 20 people that came in close contact with Cam all on a plane together. They flew 2 planes down to the game. 20 of them, including Gilmore, were on that one plane Gilmore was on that plane with those people. So and they all played together. This is gonna be a crapshoot. We're gonna get more tests. The Broncos will not be playing the Patriots on Sunday. They shouldn't have played the Chiefs in the first place. It's idiotic. The NFL's stupid. They got to figure this out quick.
We're going to talk about that in the main part of the show. Doc Rivers, world champion, 2008 Boston Celtics, back in the East, getting hired very quickly. Very quickly. The 76ers just said, hey, Doc, we don't give a shit about your record. We don't give a shit that you couldn't even make the Western Conference Finals with Kawhi Leonard on your basketball team. We want you as our head coach with 2 guys who just don't really like each other and need a lot of really good coaching. They didn't care. They said, Doc, get your ass over here.
They're trying everything. And the Doc Rivers thing is, hey, you did it with Pierce Garnett and Ray Allen, so why can't you do it with us? And it's like, well, they bought it.
Because they didn't need much coaching at that point, and they just liked each other. And they all had that drive
Doc
to
a ton of credit for that, and I love Doc, and I'm glad he was coach here, and I wish he stayed. But Doc didn't do much that year because those guys were all veterans who all knew they were going to lose time to win a championship because they've all had illustrious careers. These guys, like Embiid and Simmons, haven't had those big-time individual career numbers yet. So they're all playing for that still.
I just hate that it's Philly. I hate that it had to be
right.
Philly.
They're still not going to be good.
I know, but you're happy for Doc.
I would hate it
obviously.
more if Philadelphia knew how to win.
Yeah, but even still, just having to deal with Philly and being in Philly, it's just that I'm happy for Doc Rivers. He deserves to have a job in the NBA, but just Philadelphia, it's just puts a bad taste in my mouth.
Gary Sanchez, a.k.a. Ryan Brazier's son, benched by the New York Yankees and Aaron Boone today. And I did not realize, because baseball sucked this year. I really didn't. I did not watch nearly as much as I usually do. I did not realize how bad Sanchez was to the plate this year.
He's so bad.
Wasn't good.
Take a guess at what he hit in 2020.
It was like 230.
49 games, 147 batting average.
I was gonna say like 180.
147 batting average with a 618 OPS in 49 games. Gary Sanchez out as Yankees catcher right now. The Titans game this past weekend got postponed. More COVID news due to the Titans just getting dunked on by positive COVID-19 tests. Since September 24th.
Davis now too. Hey.
Yep.
Since September 24th, they have had 22 players and other staff members test positive, including wide receiver Corey Davis, who tested positive today. We record this Wednesday, October 7th. This game is now scheduled to be played on October 25th. And now, a few of the Titans were caught doing an informal practice at a local school, breaking the NFL's protocol, and one of those players includes quarterback Ryan Tannehill. Assuming, and who knows by the time this comes out, maybe we already know the punishment, but there is going to be a heavy punishment handed down by the league. How stupid do you have to be? How stupid do you have to be? Just take a couple days off.
Pretty dumb.
That's it. Redskins. Oh, just kidding. Not the Redskins. I wrote the Redskins, not the Redskins. The Washington football team, second-year quarterback, Dwayne Haskins, has been benched. That was a legit slip-up. I did not mean that. Dwayne Haskins has been benched for Kyle Allen, and apparently Alex Smith is now the backup. So Haskins dropped down from starter to third string.
How idiotic are they? Like, this dude's claimed your future. They're like, it's his team to lose. Didn't even give him a full season. They kept saying, like, oh, he didn't get OTAs, he didn't get camp, and then they, like, a few games in, they bench him. And don't even make him the backup. They give the guy to Alex Smith. They give the backup job to the guy who has one leg still. Like, come on.
This isn't a good move at all. This is why they're a loser franchise. They are
Patriots,
a loser
slide in
franchise.
There. Get Haskins. Bring him in.
I don't want Haskins. I mean,
I don't
I'm fine with Cam Newton.
Okay, well, next year. Cam Newton's not going to be. We've talked about this. This is a 1-year thing with Cam. So, you need
Yeah,
someone else
I
to play quarterback.
know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe 2 if
Hey.
they tag him, but like they got to pay him a lot of money if they
know.
tag him. So,
And
I don't
the
know.
MLB is in the postseason. The MLB is in a bubble format right now, which has been proven at this point to be the only thing that works. The bubble is the only thing that works. So, series, we're not going to go over scores or anything because it really is not going to matter by the time this comes out because games are going to happen. We got the Astros and A's. We've got the Yankees and Rays, Marlins and Braves. Astros, that's the Astros and A's again. San Diego Padres and Dodgers. We've also got, is that it?
that's it.
I guess
waiting
that's
for you.
it.
All right. I was trying to figure
Could
out
be
what
4
team you pulled out.
matchups. 4 matchups, 8 teams. Let's figure it out there, bud.
That is it. A pretty good series going on. The Rays and Yankees is intriguing. Question for you guys. Astros, Yankees, ALCS. Who you rooting for?
Yankees.
Astros.
You're rooting
Astros.
for the season to be canceled.
Astros.
There you go.
You're rooting for the season to be canceled. I don't want to see either of those guys go.
Because the storyline of the Astros winning is just great to me. Like, I know they're cheaters and we all hate them, but I mean, I'm kind of mad the A's haven't shown up in the series. But
I know. I'm sick of Carlos Correa. That guy is so annoying. He's like acting like they're the underdogs.
Buffoon.
They're not underdogs. You guys are just. You guys, people don't want you to win, not because they don't think you can. People don't want you to win because you got caught in the worst cheating scandal since the 1919 White Sox, 1912 White Sox, whatever it is. Then the White Sox, way back when, none of us were alive. Back when Babe Ruth just got traded. All the way back then.
Jackson.
All the way back then.
The only reason why I want the Astros to lose, if I do even, is the earlier they're out, the better chance George Springer doesn't want to go back to Houston.
That's true.
Because I want me some George Springer on the Red Sox.
I don't even know if I do anymore. The money he's going to command.
Don't care.
He did not produce after, he didn't know what pitch was coming.
Don't care. You give him out. You give him back Alex Cora. Great. Give me some George Springer.
That's true. That's true. We're not going. The Red Sox aren't going to have Jackie Bradley next season, so you're going to need a center fielder. But no, I don't want George Springer.
Yeah, you do. We've talked about this. You definitely want George Springer.
I did.
You want George Springer. Come on now. If the news breaks, breaking news, Red Sox side George Springer, you're going to look at me in the eye and go, man, I hate it.
I won't hate it, but I just know he's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah, okay. The Red Sox can spend money. Remember that whole cheering parade we did? The Red Sox cut through the tax. They saved it. Remember that whole day we celebrated on this podcast? That's what that was for.
I'd rather them spend money on somebody else.
Springer and Bauer. You can afford both of them. Give me a pitcher and a leadoff hitter, and we're good.
I would rather them spend the money.
I want Trevor Bauer, by the way.
Did you see his tweet the other day?
Yes.
In Boston.
I want it. I want
Just
Trevor
saying.
I want Trevor
I know,
Bauer.
and I know the tweet means nothing. But Trevor Bauer is unbelievable on social media.
Could you imagine
Jared Krause, until after the World Series.
And Trevor Bauer, you thought Jared Krause was bad when David Price came to Boston. David Price was still kind of kept to himself. If Trevor Bauer came to Boston, Jared Krause was on in his house, a dinner with her on a round table on a video for Trevor Bauer.
I love Trevor Bauer. I would love him to be here.
Amazing. You need some fire in that locker room, man. Let's pump some people up.
Listen, you know why I don't want George Springer? Because we are back to this. Because we got a kid in the system who is going to be a stud in center field.
Oh, I know who you're talking.
Jarren Duran.
But
this kid is going to be, probably. Let me see. He probably could. How old is Jarren Duran at this point? It doesn't say here. How old is?
Well, you need a couple outfielders because you're not gonna have Andrew Benintendi for that much longer either. So
Jarren Duran is 24 years old.
Okay,
get him up into center field,
and Springer can move to left. Great.
Jarren Duran is nasty. He's probably. I have not been. It wasn't even that long ago. I was going to say since Yoel Moncada, but Jarren Duran, I am very excited to see called up here.
Well, what if you have him, Springer, in Verdugo in the same outfield? That'd be fun, right?
That's pretty good.
That would be fun, but realistically, what Benintendi got? Benintendi still has a couple seasons.
Bye. See ya.
Okay. All right. That was the weekly dump, boys and girls and boys. Listen. Fantasy football draft season is upon us, but fantasy football season itself is upon us already because we're done drafting. Guys, due to quarantine, it's very possible that you might have Zeke's haircut in your pants. That's why our partners at Manscaped have partnered with us to make sure that you don't gamble on shaving your balls the same way that you gamble on football. When it comes to men's hygiene, Manscaped is as good and safe as Christian McCaffrey in a PPR league when he's healthy. When's the last time you shaved your balls? Because I know Jared. He at least did it one time, and that was just a little over, maybe 11, 12 months ago now.
Recently, I told you that thing stares you in the face in the bathroom, man.
Thing stares you in the face with that portable stand makes you feel like you have to shave your balls.
And look, Al can use it in the light with the light now because he has no
Beautiful.
power.
Power's out.
Perfect.
You got the LED light. Guys, the Lawnmower 3.0 is the best hygiene tool for the modern man because of their ceramic blade. In skin-safe technology, your nicks and snags will be reduced. This is the perfect protection needed for your franchise quarterback. The Lawnmower 3.0 is also waterproof and has an LED light on it. Game changer. They just released their Shears 2.0 nail kit, which is the perfect add-on for their Lawnmower 3.0. No one likes an undergroomed set of feet, fingers, and most importantly, testicles. That's why they have forever changed their grooming game with their Perfect Package 3.0. Their Perfect Package 3.0 kit comes with the new and improved lawnmower, Performance Box Lawnmower, Performance Box Brief, Lawnmower Performance. That doesn't make sense.
His last show, and he can't do the ad read right. Unreal.
And a travel bag for you to use when we're done quarantining, and some other liquid formulations like the Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver.
Or taking to the bubble if you somehow get that invite. Take it to a bubble.
The Crop Preserver is anti-chafing ball deodorant, which ensures that your afternoon stroll doesn't end with your balls sticking to your leg or smelling like eggs. Guys, I wore these when I went golfing in Stowe, Massachusetts this past week. The course was incredibly long, insanely long, way too fucking long. It took me over 5 hours. It was brutal. But my balls did not stick to my leg.
If you didn't hit the ball in the woods, it wouldn't take over 5 hours.
I only lost a couple balls this week, okay? Wasn't that bad. It was a monster. Dude, side note, the 10th hole of this course, I hit the ball 4 times well. Like, straight, fine. This hole was so friggin' far. After my 3rd hit, I was like, where is this hole? This thing is still a mile away.
Well, good thing you weren't chafing.
No, I wasn't chafing. That would have made it 10 times worse, but that was one of the worst holes I've ever seen in my life. The Crop Reviver is a spray-on toner for your balls. It's made with soothing aloe and witch hazel extracts that will give your testicles a boost. With limited time, subscribers get not 1 but 2 free gifts. The Shed Travel Bag $39 value add. And the patented high-performance anti-chafing Manscaped Boxer Briefs. Get 20% off with free shipping with the code CouchGuide20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping with the code CouchGuide20 at manscaped.com. 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using promo code CouchGuide20. It's time to give your testes the absolute besties with Manscaped.
Balls. Your balls.
Great products.
Respect your balls.
All right. Whew.
Respect your elders.
Whew. Listen.
Do you need a minute?
Before we get into the NFL, because that's going to be the majority of the show, we just talked about the Red Sox for a second. Guys, do you want the Red Sox to bring back Alex Cora?
Yes. Next question.
Well, let's further that conversation. Should they bring back Alex Cora?
Yes. Next question.
Yes, but they're not going to.
No, they're stupid. They
You
won't.
don't think
They'll
they're
let
going
Heimblum
to?
No,
I don't think
they're gonna let Heimblum do what he wants, and
Right.
Heimblum doesn't want Cora back because it's linked to before he was here, and he wants his own stamp on things. They'd be dumb not to. And I think he's gonna manage this year, but it better be with the Red Sox. But I don't think it will be.
No, because it's going to be with the Detroit Tigers because, like you said, Chaim Bloom's going to do what he wants. And there's a couple other candidates he might pursue. For example, a Jason Varitek. For example, the bench coach in Tampa that can never figure out his name. Whatever his name is.
There are other options that would be fine. Like that will be good managers, and that could still relate to the players. But I just think you saw that Alex Cora can do it with this core group, and he won a World Series here, and he loves it here, and he wants to be here, and he can handle the market. There's no reason not to.
Right, and I'm with you. I want them to bring him back. I don't know if they will. They should. They should. Listen, this team needs a bounce back next season. They absolutely need a bounce back next season. And I don't know if they're going to necessarily connect immediately with a new manager again. And we know that they connect with Alex Cora. especially the young guys. It's still a young team. My main concern here is that this team, especially if you bring in Trevor Bauer, especially if you do bring up Jaron Duran at the start of next season, then if you bring both of those guys back, if you bring both those guys up, you have a legitimate team. You have a team that will contend for the postseason. Championship, I don't know. You still have a lot to fix in the bullpen, but you have a team that will, and I don't give a shit what anybody says. You've got a team that will compete for a postseason, and you need the right manager to get in there. And Alex Cora is that guy.
I mean, you should have competed this year. Like, if it wasn't for their dog shit start, they potentially could have made the postseason this year. So you look at the team, you're getting Erod back.
But they also they didn't deserve it. Their pitching was so bad this year.
No, it was bad. It was awful. You hopefully it sounds like you're getting Erod back. Martin Perez, I hope they sign him back for a year. Put him at the bottom half of the rotation. He did fine. He was fine. You have Chris Sale coming back potentially middle to end of next year, who is there, and then you have Eovaldi, who did really well. So you have if you put Bauer in that rotation. Plus, Pavetta did really well at the end of the year. You have guys that can pitch.
Tanner Hook.
Bring in Tanner Hook.
Tanner Hook. Yep.
Tanner Hook.
Tanner Hook.
Tanner Hook.
Tanner
He was fine.
Hook.
So, like, if Tanner Hook is a fifth
rotation's
starter,
fucking great.
yeah, if he's a fifth,
yeah, but how's
starter,
the bullpen?
Yeah, they can fix the bullpen. Dude, they won a World Series with no bullpen. Okay, so
right.
like
we heard that a million times in 2018.
Yes, but you need in the regular season to have a bullpen.
But Al, they're not going to win the World Series next year anyway. The bullpen's not getting fixed overnight.
But you think they're going to make the playoffs with the bullpen they have now because you need it for 162 games.
They did that. They did that in 2018.
They won it in the postseason. They won the postseason. They still need the bullpen for the regular season.
But they got in the playoffs.
Wait, hold on. Time out, Al. Are we having the same conversation?
We're just talking about getting in the playoffs.
They did this in 2018 in the regular season, and in order to with that shit bullpen, they did not perform well in the regular season. They still made the postseason. That's what we're saying.
But how did they do in September? But think about this. How did the bullpen do in August and September of 2018? They're one of the best bullpens in the MLB at that time.
They got in playoffs. Doesn't matter. They figured it out for a little bit, and they got in. That's all I want next year. I just want them to be competitive. I don't want to have a season that come April, end of April, first month of the season, if it actually happens, we're not talking Red Sox anymore.
So I just want to be clear with this. So I want to hear you two agree to this. You think that the Red Sox can make the postseason next year if they have a dog shit bullpen throughout the regular season?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if it's good.
I don't even know. I don't think calling it dog shit is even really fair. The bullpens are so there. It's a crapshoot. You don't know how your bullpen's going to be ever. You just don't. Like, again, going back to 2018, for a majority of that year, we were like, this bullpen is brutal. Even the Astros in 2017, now we know they cheated, but even the Astros in 2017 didn't have a good bullpen. They were one of the worst bullpens in baseball.
Look at the Detroit Tigers the year that the Red Sox beat them in the ALCS. They had no bullpen. No bullpen. None. And they still made the postseason. If they had a bullpen, listen, I'll stick to this. The Red Sox should not have won the 2013 ALCS. No.
They just shouldn't have.
Ortiz won the 2013 ALCS.
They did not have a good bullpen, and they made the postseason. So, yeah, it's definitely – and who knows what Heimblum's going to do this offseason. He loves to spend $5 on relief pitchers, and we saw what the Rays did. The Rays have become pretty good on no salary, no payroll.
No money. They won the division on no payroll.
So that's my point. They can definitely make the postseason, especially if you have this offensive lineup. Just listen to this lineup. Okay, I'm going to insert Jaron Duran in here. I think he should be up
George
next
Springer,
season.
lead off.
Okay, fine. Let's replace Andrew Benintendi or George Springer. We can replace one of those. We can just swap those guys out, whatever. You got Benny. Let's just go around the diamond. Then you got Verdugo, who proved to be a legit major leaguer. You got Duran. You insert Springer or Benintendi there. Rafi Devers, Xander Bogaerts, Michael Cheifs, Bobby Big Swinging Dick Dahlbeck. Oh, my God. That kid turned it on this year. You got Christian Vasquez, and then you got a rotation. Hopefully they sign Bauer. Of Sale, Bauer, Erod, Eovaldi, Tanner Hook,
or
Martin Perez. That's a damn good team.
Yeah.
That's a damn good team.
That's a playoff team. With that kind of rotation, and let me get this straight. If they don't even sign Bauer, they'll bring some sort of pitching guy, our man for the rotation. because they need to add an arm with Sale not being there. Like, that's the problem. With Sale not being there the whole season, they need to add something. If they do that, whether it's Bauer or not, I hope it is Bauer. If it's not Bauer, needs to be somebody else to be 2-3 in that rotation. Simple as that.
Listen, I need you guys to keep talking because I got to find something real quick. I got to find some stats.
The business owner over here.
We'll see. When you put it out like that, yes, the Red Sox should be. Keyword should be.
That's what we're saying. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if they're going to shit themselves.
We never know what's going to happen.
Look,
we
the roster,
never can
yes,
predict
they're a
it.
playoff team. They're a playoff team. If they add one pitcher, they give me some power. And they have some young players who can play. Their prospects aren't as garbage as people think they are.
Still think you need to add a bullpen arm or two.
Of course they do, and they probably will for 99 cents on the $5 bill. It's going to be a super discounted arm. It's going to be in and out again next year. You traded away some of your best bullpen arms from this year to get prospects back. Don't expect the bullpen to be great next year. Don't expect the bullpen to be good next year. It's going to be a rotating door of
as it's
crap.
serviceable. As long as it's serviceable, that's all I care about.
I just hope the Red Sox the Red Sox next year will have to go old school and actually let pitchers stay in for 7 innings if they're doing well and not play the analytics game and go, nice. 4 innings of starting pitching, and that's good. We got to save him for 3 days from now. No. If he's pitching well, you don't have a bullpen. Let Evaldi go 9 innings. I don't care.
I can't find the stat, so we're just going to skip over that. All right, moving on, though, to really the biggest news of the week. First, before we talk about Patriots-Chiefs, because despite what happened, despite watching Brian Hoyer forget how to play football, forget how it works at the end of the first half, the Patriots actually had some pretty promising ups in that game, if you want to go ups and downs there. But first, COVID. COVID's obviously hitting the NFL right now.
In the country.
It's hitting the country pretty hard. Don't know if you've heard.
Our president.
Hit our president. The Titans have 1 million cases. The Patriots have a few. The Raiders also have, is it 1 case now?
Yeah, 1.
Do you guys think COVID ends up shutting this season down?
Absolutely. 1,000%.
See, so earlier, Nick, I was texting you. And I said 100%
I think I gave you some pretty good reasoning.
And I said I was on Al's side. I'm like, yeah, 100%. It's going out.
I think I convinced you a little bit.
You helped me think about it. You helped me
say it. Say it.
Oh, I can't wait till you're gone.
Nick,
look,
helped me come to the correct conclusion.
If the MLB can save their season,
the
NFL can save their season.
You're going to miss me on the show.
Let's be real. Look, if the MLB can do what they did. Now, look, the problem with the football is that it's hard to reschedule games. Major League Baseball played doubleheaders every other day, 7-inning games, all that stuff. The logical thing for the NFL to do is give us an extra week. I would say get rid of this week altogether. But if you want to play some games this week, it's week 5, right?
5, yeah.
So week 5, if you play week 5 over 2 weekends and then move on and bump the season back a week, that's fine. They're going to do their damnedest to not move the Super Bowl.
They're going to do
hell and high water before moving the Super Bowl, which is stupid because no one's going to be there. So the Super Bowl is going to happen probably on the right day. You're going to have forfeits. Like the Titans are going to forfeit a game. The Patriots, if they can't get out of their own way, they're going to start making teams forfeit rather than moving games back. I can call that now. But the more I think about it, no, it's not going to end the NFL season because they don't want it to. Right now, I saw earlier, someone tweeted out, per sources, the league execs are saying until – I haven't heard otherwise, like, we're playing this weekend. Patriots, Broncos are on. It's like, what?
Right. And so here's the thing. If, like, the NFL, it's been pretty obvious to me, at least, since the start of this whole thing, that the NFL doesn't give a shit about the health and safety of their players, which is going to keep this season going. Because back when we really got into the conversation of sports and COVID, when it really first started ramping up, okay, there was a big question of how we're going to do this. The MLB, who was probably the toughest to come to their conclusion, had plans A, B, and C. We heard multiple game plans there. The NHL, plans A, B, and C. The NBA, plans A, B, and C. The NFL, we're just going to fucking play some football.
It was plan A.
Plan A, we're playing football. Listen, COVID, we're big, tough, strong football players, or at least the guys that we put out on the field are. It doesn't matter. COVID doesn't matter. They never game planned for additional issues if COVID did hamper the season, which is what we're seeing now. They don't care. What they care about is their bottom line. Because if they didn't care about their bottom line, they would be in a bubble right now. But they didn't go to a bubble, or they didn't separate into maybe even 3 bubbles, which was a plan talked about, because the money was going to be a lot. They care about their bottom line. They care about this season happening. If this season doesn't happen, that hurts the owners' pockets, and they don't want that.
They didn't even move around like bye weeks so that, like you like bye weeks are normal. Like you could have moved it around where like, you all have the same week, bye week as your division. The initial bubble talk that people floated around was like, you play your division and maybe a couple, like the division leaders, and that's it. Like you don't play as many games. You don't play the NFC, like whatever it was going to be. We found out their protocols like a week before training camp opened up.
The players found out their protocols a week.
That's what I'm saying.
Before.
Because the players kept saying like, we don't know what's going on. And the league was like, oh crap, we're supposed to have something in place. Oh, and they put something together and they said, okay, we'll agree on it, because they all wanted to play. Look, Tom Brady was even like against all of this. Like Tom Brady was out practicing with his Tampa Bay teammates when everything was supposed to be shut down. Like the players don't only half care. Half the players care, half don't. Look at Tennessee, right? Tennessee's holding workouts like behind the scenes because they don't care. And they're like the cause of all this throughout the NFL.
If this is what I said to you in a text earlier today too, if they actually cared, if they were actually worried about COVID ending the season, they wouldn't have played the Patriots-Chiefs game on Monday.
It was so irresponsible.
But they still did. They didn't care. They were like, you mean the Patriots star quarterback is out right now, but we still got Patrick Mahomes, and we can move this to a Monday Night Football ×2?
Love it. We're in.
Play it. Patriots-Chiefs, Monday Night Football?
Patty Mahomes versus who cares? Like what?
Who cares? Primetime Patty. He's on Monday Night Football. Who gives a damn?
Wasn't it twice in a row too? Didn't the Chiefs play the Ravens on Monday Night Football? Or they played Sunday Night Football.
Yes, they did. They played the week before.
So 2 weeks in a row, you get Patrick Mahomes in prime time.
And it's so crazy because you look at like what the situation was. As soon as Cam's test came back positive, everyone knew about it. And this is after the Tennessee Titans situation happened. You cancanceled the game. Moved the game. Push it out. Done. That was an easy decision. That was an easy decision. The Titans were testing positive. We thought it was just going to be with them, because the Vikings didn't have any positive tests. But then you get a report that Cam Newton tests positive and the practice squad quarterback of the Chiefs tests positive. Cancel the game. That's it. Done.
They didn't care. They did not care.
I can't wait for Patrick Mahomes to get COVID, because I don't want him to get sick, but like it's a giant F you to everybody who thought this was an okay decision.
So here's what I'm going to say about this, and here's why I'm going to stick with my reasoning.
Hope his wife gets COVID, my lord.
Oh my God,
Brittany's annoying, but still, you wouldn't wish that upon anybody.
This.
You would not wish that upon anybody.
I don't wish it because it sounds terrible, and she's also pregnant. So,
here's the thing. The cases are starting to spread a little bit. We've seen now that 22 members of the Titans have tested positive. 3 Patriots that we know of, 2 pretty big starters on offense and defense, and on the practice squad.
Pretty big. The reigning defensive player of the year.
Yeah, pretty big.
Quarterback.
It might help a little bit.
Cameron Newton.
And then you potentially are going to have many members of the Chiefs come down with COVID too.
Yes, the world's
there's going to be some positive tests.
Second wave coming.
Hey! I didn't interrupt you guys. Hold on. Time out. I didn't interrupt you guys.
Al, you're the new guy here, man.
I don't care.
I can interrupt you all you want.
Nah, you suck.
I'm gonna do solo show next week. Screw it.
Good. Do it. Have fun.
Nick's done it.
I don't see this season happening, especially when we're supposed to have a second wave of COVID. We have a second wave of COVID coming in. Second wave.
Wait,
and you're telling me that with the off season, especially, these guys are going to want to spend time with their families in a somewhat regular off season. You're telling me they're going to try to extend it just like they did with the NBA and NHL?
They don't get a choice.
If it doesn't matter,
they don't get a choice.
They don't get a choice. They don't.
But they actually do. They can opt out. They can
opt out, but they're going to lose out on all of that money. Especially, there are a lot of guys, and this is the point that kept coming up when players were starting to opt out. There are a lot of guys who are still trying to prove themselves. They're not just going to leave the season. Like, this is their career. They're not just going to – and it sucks. It's a shitty situation for them, but they can't just leave because they might not ever get another shot. It's the reality.
The league is idiotic. They don't know what they're doing. The problem is the football now lines up right with, like I was saying, the second wave of like the world COVID. Like
Which
the
we
world
knew this was coming.
We all knew this was coming. This is why not having a bubble situation is just crap.
It's stupid.
Because everyone knew this was coming. If this comes in, if the Chiefs have any positive tests, and like this starts to really spiral out of control, do you think guys opt out? That's my big thing. Like, are there some guys that start to opt out?
They will be penalized at this point. They're past their opt-out period.
Yeah, but do you think they care?
I bet a lot of them do. There are a lot of
Patrick
guys.
Patrick Mahomes is sleeping in a separate bed from his pregnant fiance because of COVID concerns. Like,
right. But then think of, like, even just looking at the Patriots, okay? N'Keal Harry's not going to opt out.
No.
Damian Harris isn't going to opt out. That guy looks fucking good on Monday.
Cam probably would.
Cam probably won't opt out. Cam is still trying to get that next NFL contract. He's not going to opt out. There are a lot of guys. Huh?
I said, hopefully it's from Bill.
Hopefully it's from Bill. And here's my last point on this before we move on to the actual game itself. We knew this was coming. So I don't understand the hysteria, especially on Twitter, because we knew that this was coming. We knew that there were going to be positive cases. We knew that there was going to be a team that was probably going to get a lot. Hell, there were 2 MLB teams or maybe was there more than 2? The Cardinals, the Marlins.
Royals, didn't the Royals have some cases?
The Royals, but the 2 big ones was it just the Marlins and it was the Marlins and the Cardinals.
Ones, yes.
Those are the big ones, yeah.
We had 2 teams basically go down, and the MLB didn't skip a beat. The NFL, I think, cares less, which isn't great. That's not really great on their morals, but they care less. This season, I would be shocked. It would have to take a ton of players to start getting seriously ill. And on top of all that, it doesn't help that a lot of these old rich owners who, again, only care about their bottom line are now seeing these statistics. And I'm not saying I agree, because I don't, but these statistics saying that with the fact that we just now know how to handle this much easier than we did at the start, people are surviving. These players, a lot of them, most of them, will survive this. And that's the way these owners are going to look at it. These guys get sick, it doesn't matter. Look at Cam. Cam got it.
They're actually willing, and the way that sounds, and it's true, they're willing to risk 1 or 2 people who don't survive it to have the NFL season.
Yes,
like that.
Which
That's
is
what
shitty.
they're doing.
That
doing.
is shitty morals. But we agree at this point. NFL owners have shitty morals. They don't care about their players. They don't.
I mean, Roger Goodell's still their commissioner, so
yeah, they don't look at their players as their. They look at players like they are just
they're assets.
They're assets. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're assets. They don't view them necessarily as human beings. I think, I mean, not even being biased, I think Robert Kraft does. I think Robert Kraft genuinely cares about his players, but I think a majority of owners don't. A majority of owners care about their bottom line. Dan Snyder. A majority of owners care more about their bottom line than anything. That's why this season is going to continue unless COVID absolutely ravages the league.
If we have if we have March, April, whenever that really shutdown was, I think that's now the only way it probably ends up canceling it.
Yeah, late March, early April when they're
forced to.
Yeah. So I think this season's I would be very shocked if this season ends. I mean, both of my fantasy teams are doing great. I care more about health and safety.
And it's funny how you lose your first game in the Couch Guy Sports Fantasy League and you don't come on last week. That's pretty ironic, huh? That's a little ironic, Jared. Can you back me up on this one a little bit?
Oh, but hey,
I don't expect anything less from Nick at this point. So.
I'm 3-1, baby.
Yeah, so am I. And I still came on after you kicked the shit out of me.
Yeah, but listen, Al. If we had to do a head-to-head matchup, who gets the higher seed? Who would get it?
I'm ahead of you, you ding dong. I'm ahead of you.
We're not doing head-to-head matchup. I beat you.
It doesn't matter. I beat who did you lose to? You lost to Gilly, right?
I got screwed that week.
No. I don't want to hear it. You lost to Gilly. I beat Gilly, and I have more points than you, so I jumped ahead of you. So I'm in second.
Hold on. As of right now, sir, Mr. Wilson is in second, according to our ESPN.
Thank you. I don't care. I still got a better team than you. I do. I beat you.
Yes, you beat me and we won. Congratulations. I can't wait for that rematch.
Let's have it. Let's have it.
I can't wait for that rematch. And Jared,
guys,
by the way,
I'm 1-3.
I'm already going to I'm going to tell you this right now, Jared. Congratulations on your win over me in week 6 because I have Russell Wilson and Alvin Kamara both on buys that week. So
I have a better team than being 1-3.
You
so
do. That loss this
no,
week
your
is
team,
hilarious.
Your team for a 1-3 team is very good.
So my second week was really close. I took the loss. It was a close matchup. Week 3, all I needed Calvin Ridley to do was make a freaking catch. And nothing. Just nothing. That's it. I was like, oh, this is the one league I'm going to win in this week. Great. No, Calvin Ridley decided to not play. Sure.
That's so funny. That was like
the
last
best
year.
receiver in the effing league couldn't catch one ball.
You remember me having that meltdown last year because my team in my big league was like really good, but they just could not buy a win. I had like the second most points in the league, but I couldn't get a win. I didn't get my win till week 6. That was one of those first 5 games. I needed we're a half-point PPR. I needed 1 catch from O.J. Howard, who at the start of last year was supposed to be a really good tight end. I needed 1 catch. He got nothing. I lost by 0.3 points that
sucks.
0.3 points because O.J. Howard didn't get a catch.
You guys don't want to play me in the playoffs, man. If I get in, you don't want to play. You don't want to play me. You top seeds. I'm telling you.
Going back to this league, I lost to somebody that's 3-1. You lost to somebody that's 1-3 or 2-2. I think Gilly's 1-3. So
I got screwed.
Yeah, I don't want to hear you got screwed. You lost.
I beat
Take your L like a man.
I'm not going to do that.
I know you're not. I understand that because it's your. I know you're not because you're going to try to find every excuse in the book. Meanwhile, when I took the loss to you, I came here and said I got beat.
Yeah, because you did.
Yeah, and you got beat too.
No,
so
I
don't want to hear that you got screwed.
No, I didn't.
No. You're done. I don't want to hear it. You didn't show up last week. You were a coward. You did not show up. You have no right to talk.
Oh, God.
0.
Oh,
0.
my God. Listen, Patriots-Chiefs, okay? Let's talk about that game for a second.
God.
The Patriots-Chiefs.
Oh, even more that pissed me off. Patriots-Chiefs. I bet I sat Hilaire, and it was the right decision. Nope, still didn't make that any better. Fantasy football.
Cam Newton, we can all agree here, if Cam Newton plays in that game, they win.
Yes.
They should have won that game anyway.
They should have won that game anyway.
Like, I don't care. Like, if Hoyer was just what we expect Hoyer to be, like, I didn't expect Hoyer to be that bad. Like, if Hoyer is just, like, normal what he's been his entire career, what he was with Indy, what he was with Houston, we win that game.
Yeah. Oh, my God, yeah. Listen.
You in the red zone twice? And he just fumbled the ball?
In the red zone a few times. And it was like, okay, here we go. Nothing.
End of the first half. All they got to do is just stay down there to get a field goal. You're going in tie game. Nope, that doesn't happen. And then you come out of the second half and then go 3 and out. Like, are you kidding me? Then you drive the length of the field. You're in the red zone. You're driving. You're doing well. And then, oh, I fumbled the ball. I can't get out of my own way because I think I'm Patrick Mahomes and can run out of the pocket. Fumble done. There goes points there. Like, if Hoyer was just what we expected him to be, they win that game. If they start Jared
just
Stidham,
serviceable,
they win that game.
That's all they needed was serviceable.
You didn't even need to start Stidham. If you started him in the second half, you might have had a shot to win that game because you were only down 6-3.
Hoyer was out there way too long.
It was disgusting.
Now that being said, I don't think they need him. I don't think they need Cam to beat the Broncos if that actually happens.
No, they're going to beat him with Stidham really regardless.
Yes, no, it sounds like they're going to start. It sounds like they're starting Hoyer.
If they start Hoyer after that performance against the Chiefs, then Bill Belichick needs to get his head examined.
Sounds like Hoyer's coming back.
So apparently Bill Belichick just likes to torture us. Apparently, so
that sounds like they don't believe in Stidham, which is sad because he didn't look that bad. One pick wasn't his fault. That touchdown pass to Harry,
he threw a touchdown pass, and he had Julian Edelman literally let a ball go through his hands for a pick 6.
Broncos would be the game.
Fault.
Sorry, I know we're talking about the Chiefs game, but like the Broncos would be the game to place Jarrett Stidham. Like that would be the game to start
what you actually have there.
Yeah,
and
because the defense should win the game.
Stidham getting any credit in this game, he doesn't deserve really any. I mean, he scored that touchdown, sure.
No, Cam deserves credit. He deserves all of our praise. Cam Newton.
Cam does. You don't know what you got till it's gone. I know that pick 6 wasn't his fault off of Edelman's hands, but even taking that away, he went 5 for 12.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
5 for 13. He didn't have a good night. He didn't look that good. He made some throws that were like, damn, okay. But you know what? So did Brian Hoyer.
Yeah.
So
no, they both are equally as bad, and I think this is why they signed Cam Newton, because this is what Belichick saw the season looking like if Cam Newton didn't come here.
Bill Belichick saw Jarrett Stidham and Brian Hoyer in training camp, or at the start of it. It was like, oh, yikes. Oh, God. And one thing let's go ups and downs here with the Chiefs-Patriots game. One bad thing about that game, the Stidham fanboys were insufferable on Twitter. Stidham fanboys are the worst. It makes no sense. They're sucking this guy's dick for no reason. I was excited.
I'll admit, me and Nick both sat here on the show and said we want him to be the starter.
That was before we knew anything. And then the second they signed Cam Newton, we were like, okay.
Nope, screw it. Cam's here. Let's go.
Cam Newton. The Jarrett Stidham fanboys make absolutely no sense.
The ones that said, no, Cam Newton shouldn't be your starter. It should be Jarrett Stidham. There's a real competition there. Jarrett Stidham can beat out Cameron Newton. Yeah.
And we saw what this guy can do. What's he have? 3 interceptions now in his career? He's played 3 games. Not even full games. He's played 3 quarters?
He's played
maybe 2.5?
Two games, I think a little over 2 quarters.
How many pick sixes?
He's got at least 2 pick sixes.
2, unfortunately.
If he is the future of this team, I obviously hope he gets better. And I think it's a little unfair to just roast the guy over him coming in the middle of a game against the best team in football. I do think that's
don't pull a Washington. Don't bench your future 4 games in.
I don't think you should overreact there, but I do think the Stidham fanboys need to pull it back a little bit.
The thing is, though, is that Stidham did have some good moments. That's the thing. There were some glimpses there.
So did Hoyer.
Okay, yeah, but Brian Hoyer. Listen, Jarrett Stidham is not going to sit back in the pocket for as long as Hoyer did and hold the ball for saying, "Oh, let's find Edelman. Oh, let's find Harry. Oh, I'm going to hold on to it. Oh, I lost the ball twice in a row." It's like
I don't throw it out of the back of the end zone. That's all you do.
Throw it through the goalposts for all you care. Just get rid of the ball.
The end of the first half was
and the beginning of the second half.
It was a good drive, too. The end of the first half, good drive. He moved the ball. The running game was great. Love Damian Harris. I'm all in on that. They looked good, and then he just decided to not throw the ball away. Dude, you're a 12-year veteran. You don't know how to throw the ball away while you're in the red zone.
I think he called for a timeout. I think he thought that there was a timeout left.
Yeah, he definitely did. Yeah, he jumped up, and as soon as he jumped up, timeout. I'm like, what? No, you don't have any.
What's he trying to do? Pull Chris Webber from Michigan in '92? What are you trying to pull there?
Brian Hoyer is just trash. And
he's lost 11 consecutive NFL starts. He should not be starting Sunday. Period.
See, what Patriots fans need to hope for is that this Patriots-Broncos game actually gets canceled. Or, worst case scenario, gets moved to Tuesday, and then Cam can probably play. Because if one of those guys is playing Sunday, as much as I think they'll win, it's going to be a very stressful afternoon.
Now, you want to talk more ups because obviously the quarterback situation, there's not much more to say. If you had Cam Newton, you probably win that game. And then the tone of this show, I said this on the CLNS roundtable too. The tone of this show would be the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. Here we go. The Patriots beat the Kansas City Chiefs with Cam Newton. They're going to the Super Bowl.
I mean, to be fair, though, watching that game, there were ups. If Cam plays, we said it, he wins. I think no one really – if the Patriots are legit.
The Patriots are legit. Even with that loss, we know that.
We know that. The game plan was there. Belichick's game plan did enough that if Cam was playing, they would have won that game by a touchdown. Offense,
yeah. You held the best – one of the best offenses in the NFL to 19 points. That's pretty good. That's really good, especially for a young defense that lost Donta Hightower, that lost Patrick Chung, and is playing a lot of first and second year guys.
If you're one of these top teams, you're not looking to play the Patriots. I don't care if you're the Bills and you're one of the top seeds and you have somehow land the Patriots. That'd be fun. Look,
not to mention too, the refs didn't call that interception. The Patriots should have had that
started on that. That was so infuriating.
Another 2 years in a row call against the Patriots.
2 years in a row, 2 bad calls against the Patriots in a game against the Chiefs.
It was bad.
So there were 2 ups that I think we should really, and we can end the show really on this. Sony Michel, see ya. Sony Michel lost his job, back on the IR. Damian Harris, 100 yards in his first game, looked damn good. Sony, sent back.
The Damian Harris thing too. I loved it. I'm with you. I agree. The worst thing I hated about sports radio this week so far has been, well, most of that 100 yards was a big run. So did he really do anything? He didn't look great, man.
Don't listen to him.
Stop. Watch the football game, Tony Maz. Watch the football game. Damian Harris looked a lot better than Sony Michel. Like I know he's still. They're like, oh, he ran into his own guys. He's a running back. That happens. Like
and
you're
it's
not
his
going to get
first game of his career.
Like stop.
It's his
He looks
first
so
game
much
of
better
his
than Sonny Michel.
career.
So much better.
Did we lose Al? We lost Al.
We
He's
did.
probably come back on his iPhone.
It's
his first game of his career. What else did you expect from the guy?
Absolute garbage. Damian Harris is fine. Roll him out there this week. He's going to have a big game against Denver. One thing I do want to see from him, though, as Al comes back on the iPhone here, is more in the passing game. Like, people touted that Sonny Michel wasn't as good at Damian Harris in the passing game, and that's why we should want Damian Harris. I know we have White and Burkhead and all these. I want to see Damian Harris play some out of the passing game, too.
The team is going to benefit with having Damian Harris over Sonny Michel, and I would not be shocked if Sonny just gets cut because he's not worth it at this point. Hey, listen,
I'm gonna have to get rid of my shirt then.
The Sonny Michel shirt?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get rid of it.
You have a Sony shirt?
Yeah, I told the story last week, didn't I?
I wasn't here.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jared knows the story. You don't know
Nick
the story.
Nick didn't listen to the show. Clearly, idiot.
Yeah, clearly.
I've had a tough week.
Yeah, well, we should soothe your week. Take a couple hours off from Joe Rogan. This isn't that long of a podcast, bud.
Long story short, I went to Dick's Sporting Goods with my girlfriend to buy her a Patriots shirt, and the only XL they had left was Sonny Michel. And then it just so happened he rushed for over 100 yards. So I was like, okay, I'm going to keep this shirt. Maybe he actually performs a little bit better even in week 4. He keeps up 100 yards a game, which I know wasn't going to happen, but still, a fan can only hope. So, yeah, I have a Sonny Michel shirt.
All right, well, on that note, guys.
What was the second up?
Oh, defense.
That's fine.
We already talked about that, though.
Sonny Michel shirt, yeah.
On Al's Sonny Michel shirt note, which, Al, that's a bad purchase.
I needed
a rough purchase.
Listen, the only other shirt I had was Tom Brady, and I'm not going to wear that anymore.
You know the internet exists.
Why?
You could have just ordered one online.
I didn't want to wait that long. I'm impatient.
Patience is
it was
key.
easy.
Support the GOAT.
It's 2 minutes from my house.
Support the GOAT.
It's 2 minutes from my house. I went and got it.
You live in Saugus, right?
I do.
You ever go to Kowloon's?
Are you kidding me?
Fun
Kowloon's
fact,
awesome.
I've never been to Kowloon's.
Same.
Well, come down my way, and I'll take you to Kowloon.
Hey,
No, 'cause
I'm down for that.
We don't want the Rona.
No, hey, we can have a little show out into Kowloon's. I live in
Let's
the
go to
South Shore. I'm
Kowloon.
not that far.
Oh my God, it's Kowloon, not Kowloon's. Do not be like Adam Smith from Barstool. It is Kowloon, not
It's
Kowloon's.
Calhoun's.
Oh my God! All right, we're ending the show. Done with this. Let's go. Quag, say your goodbyes, and you're gone for like a month anyway.
Okay. All right. Well, this is my last show for a little bit, so hopefully I'm back on.
It's gonna be like 2 weeks. He's gonna miss us. It's fine.
I'm going to. I know I'm going to. It's gonna be.
Jared, we're about to do big things on this podcast.
This was a tough decision.
Start bringing in the guests.
This wasn't
put them on
easy.
hold.
Like I've been legitimately sad over this.
Yeah, you're not sad at all.
I swear it was a tough choice. I didn't want to make the choice, but I made the choice. I have to do it. So I'll be back in whatever many weeks, and we'll just and I no, it's if the minimum is probably going to be 3.
2 weeks.
Back on next
2 weeks. Yeah, next week. Screw it.
Minimum is probably going to be 3. So we'll see.
I'm saying you'll be back in 3 weeks. Like you'll have 2 weeks off.
I don't know. I don't even know. I don't think that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, guys, the A's won a game. Let's go.
Yes.
Yes, still alive.
Couch
Still
Guys
alive,
Sports Podcast.
Woo!
Episode 176. Nick Quaglia, Jared Scali, Al Nahigian. Guys, show hosted next week by Jared Scali. The show sponsored by our friends over at MANSCAPED. Promo code CouchGuy20. Al will be in the second chair for quite a little bit. Follow us on everything at Couch Guys Sports. Al will have power.
I don't know.
Hopefully by the next show.
We'll find out.
And that's it. I'll see you guys in a few weeks. Nick Quaglia, Jared Scali, Al Nahigian. Guys, do us a favor. Rate and subscribe on iTunes and YouTube. It's that easy. Don't be dumb. Go do it right now. It helps the show a ton. You don't even understand. It helps the show a ton. Again, Nick Quaglia, Jared Scali, Al Nahigian. Guys, we'll talk to you soon. These guys will talk to you next week. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
See ya.